this topic sometimes is a bit difficult to finish in one time. I'll do my best. Usually I try to finish it in 2 times. It's more important to the 19 years old, 20 years old and above. But to tell you the truth, I like even my teenagers to listen to it because it's very important to preemptively be aware of what's going on. Some of the information came from a book by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Okay, so the first part will be about teenagers and dating. So how this is all start? You just started a grade, let's say 9th grade, 10th grade, and there is one person in 3 of your class that's just so cute, so hot, and you just clicked so well with that guy. So you guys start eating lunch together with the rest of your friends. Then you have made or already had, and then you hang out a little before going home every day, even after everyone leaves. Then you text each other randomly funny things and funny pictures. Then you guys hug a little longer than you do with your other friends, but just a coincidence. You tell yourself, I didn't mean it, he didn't mean it. When your friends ask you what's going on, you either say deny or you say, I don't know anything what you're talking about, or you start giggling and let it out just to really confess. But you and him and her or her have never mentioned your feelings to each other. Sounds familiar to some people. And then something happened. You were sick today, or you couldn't make it to a common friend's sweet 16, or you didn't attend class, and look at the text message that's about to come at 1:03 a.m. I told you before, nothing really good happens after 11:30 p.m. But let's see. Hey, are you up? Yep. How was the party? It was all right. Mike was fist pumping a little too hard. Definitely would have wanted to see that. Yeah, wish you were there with me. I really missed you at the party. Every time something funny happened, I think about you. I missed you too. It's 1:03 a.m., you know. Mom is asleep. Dad probably slept before mom. So you talk on the phone all the time. When am I going to see you again? And then no, you hang up. You're always hugging a little bit longer. You share your secrets, your dreams. I love the green blouse in you. The hat makes your hair looks beautiful. And then you start thinking about going out. When non-platonic feelings have been confessed or reciprocated, spending more time together in a group or alone. And then when you are a little bit physical, I don't mean kissing, but maybe holding hands, little hugs here and there. And then there is something called litmus test. You all know the litmus test from the science class. Yes, you know. You don't know litmus test? Okay. So this little piece of paper that changed either red or blue based on the pH of the fluid. But anyway, the test here, do you get upset at him or her when you see them laughing or talking a little bit animated with another boy or a different girl? That's what we call a litmus test. Would you be right in being mad and you say, he's not allowed to talk to anyone. He promised me he will talk only to me. But there is no me and you. But in your head, you think there is me and you. But then things start to change. You guys get a little too close. You are refusing to have friends with you. You want to be alone, you and him, or him and you. And then parents start to see the change. You become more argumentative. And then you start asking, why is he or she always around you? And then your parents ask, why is this person always writing to you? He's writing on your Facebook, sending you Instagram or Snapchat. Why didn't you text back last night? He's getting angry at you because, you stood him up. Why won't you let me look at your phone? That's your parent is asking. Is everything okay with us? That's him asking you. The other person is feeling more distant, and then it ends. More arguments than good times. You begin to feel unhappy being around him or her. After many awkward situations, you call it off. This is not easy. Unfortunately, some people put rumors. Some people write things in social media and walls and whatever. And then friends tell friends that he's my ex. He wasn't even an X or Y or anything. He was just... Anyway, but that's not all. Here comes the painful part. The rumor that she started dating and someone else comes in and unfortunately becomes a vicious circle. These things unfortunately always can happen in the church. So pretty much the same, except for few differences. It's not as obvious. Often you act like complete strangers in a church with a small community like this. And instead of admitting you like each other, you explain to others that you are trying to bring him to the church. And as a good girl, you are trying to bring him to Sunday school. I'm trying to explain to him liturgy and so forth. And what we call the spiritual game. What are the consequences of dating? There are some people call themselves serial dating. And serial dating means she cannot stay without a boy. Even when they quarrel, they fight, she finds a different one. Sometimes because of peer pressure, because other girls are telling her, are you single now? And all of a sudden, she's under pressure to bring on and on. So serial dating prevents you from growing up better person because you are so focused in one person and you are not learning from a group of people, and all of a sudden you become too focused, too narrow-minded. Girls become hypersensitive, insecure, or even complete opposite. They become easy to be with anyone. Guys get addicted of being physical and touchy. So one day, he was a teen. He wrote his thoughts many years after, things I wish I knew when I was younger. I wish I wasn't as mean. This is, say, 10 years after he was 15 years old. I wish I knew how to keep my distance. I wish I got deeper with more of my guy friends during the time when we were all going through a lot. Wish I was told exactly the right way to view the opposite sex during high school. I wish I knew that what I was looking for wasn't in a girl. So what are the biggest myths of teen dating? The first myth in teen dating, if I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, I would be happy. A myth. You probably would be happier if you are not so focused on one person only. I am in love. I think we spoke of it so much that love doesn't occur in this age, or at least the love that we talked about, a committing love. I should always trust my feelings. I think we also spoke, please do not trust your feelings. They are usually deceptive. Love and sex are the same thing. I think we spoke enough that there is a huge difference between love and sex. Sex can be animalistic, like love is God and love is giving. Sex will enhance my relationship. Please be watchful. It only destroys people and makes people angry, ashamed, embarrassed, scarred. It's okay to break up and get back together. Admit. If my partner is jealous of my friend, it means that they care about me. Doesn't have to be. So what are the problems in dating people are facing today? The first one is age pressure. She's 34 years old. Her family, her aunt in another country is telling her, how come you're not married yet? I'm moving to the older group. Culture and church can also be a pressure. Are you dating? Are you with someone? I saw you talking to this kid. And all of a sudden, you feel as if somebody's pressuring you. Cultural confusion on how dating works. Misconception, thinking that dating and attraction and sexuality are immoral. Of course, there is nothing immoral about dating and attraction or sexuality. You guys spoke about boundaries many times today. Boundaries between partners, physical boundaries, between partners and others, like parents are being too involved. One of the problems facing dating today that many marriages are failing. So our young people are not as enthusiastic to go forward with their dating. So before you get started in a dating process, couple of words. Number one, you have a team. You want to have your own team. Your dating team include God, the priest, trusted friends, parents, and yourself. Then you must have your own internal monitors. What are your principles? What are your values when you start dating? And then the courage, being the initiative. You are ready to date. You are ready to speak to someone. We are going to discuss now these points. What is dating and the 4 dating principles, the 5 dating truths, the mechanics, which are the 6 tips to help you along the way. So dating has so many different synonyms. Some people would say we are dating, going out but not dating. We are not dating but we are courting. She's my courtship partner. I'm seeing someone, I'm talking to someone, getting to know each other. Are you dating again? So confused. All of these terms can refer to different stages in your date, different levels of commitment, and different understanding of the future person. According to Henry Cloud in the book I alluded to initially, dating is a period of getting to know someone and then figuring out what you want to do and what you discover on each other. So principle number one, God has to do his part and you must do yours. If only you do your part. So I'm going to give you some scenarios. You come in and out of a relationship or the same relationship. You keep getting hurt. You give too much. You allow the other party to touch and do something that you would have not allowed him to do. You never grow. And then you start saying, I'm so frustrated, so I'm going to stay home. I want God to send me someone. So you wait at home. You hang out with the same people over and over again. You keep complaining about everyone and everything, and you keep saying all men are arrogant, all women are snobs, and all of a sudden you are doing nothing except blaming God. And being found in the appearance of man, he humbled himself. Principle 2. The other bad thing you can do, sometimes you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So for example, you have an action, you go out on a retreat and set up your fortress against you. You know, like Abuna Justus will make a retreat and then you go to a retreat and you are planning to, you are a right person, good person, you want to find your future spouse, but you go to a retreat and you set up a fortress around you. No one is allowed to talk to you, no one allowed to smile at you, you don't talk back to anyone. And then you go home. And then you say, no one asked me. And then the result is, I'm not going to any retreats anymore. Retreat don't work. Although it's my fault initially. Another action, you start seeing someone, few weeks later, you are mothering him. You are almost telling him what to do and everything. He starts taking advantage of you and you break up. And your result, I gave him everything. Men are jerks. The next act, you are attracted to a girl at the church, but you have never spoken to her before. You go up to her and ask her out. You get rejected and you say, these girls have no idea who's talking to them. Another action, you are dating someone. 3 months later, you are making out and having sex. You don't know, but you are too invested to get out and you feel you are a spoiled good. So principle 2, doing the same thing over and over again does not make the thing right. Principle 3, everything that happens outside has its root inside. So what's outside? When I get close, I get disinterested or afraid. And what's inside you? What's the feeling? What's the inner core? I'm afraid of intimacy. I begin to feel smothered or closed in when they like me. I lose interest. Once I find somebody likes me, I lose interest. What is inside? I am afraid of being controlled. I feel as if I'm not attractive enough to get someone to like me. If she knows that about me, she would never like me. What's inside you? Fear of one's imperfection and flaws and lack of self-acceptance. When attracted to someone, I shouldn't feel that way, as if you are ashamed of your feeling and you are afraid of sexuality. He doesn't fit my idea of a godly man. You are rigid, religious person, have nothing to do with spiritual security. Principle number 4. Dating is for healthy people. No one is perfect, but you are not ready to date if you need to develop more emotional connectivity. Establish boundaries. If you don't know how to put boundaries, you are not ready to date. You have to accept the reality of yourself that you have defects and the other person that he or she will never be perfect either. You are not ready to date if you need to grow up and become equal with others. If you are still immature and you cannot be committed and responsible. So you need to resolve these issues before you start the process of dating. I want to get now to the meat of the problem, which is the 5 truths about dating. Truth 1. First person you are going to meet more than likely will not be your last. Stages of dating and commitment. Meeting people. Sometimes you don't realize this is happening. It's too often skipped. Just having fun, interest, and then you become exclusive. So the first station, you get to know people, but once you start getting to know people, you get exclusive with one. You start asking serious questions. How are things below the surface? How is his or her character and values? Those are deeper questions. We're becoming more one-to-one, more exclusive. And then the formal steps: meeting families, meeting with the fathers, pre-engagement counseling, engagement, and pre-marriage. So do not make the mistake of thinking someone with a specific quality is the only one with that quality. Like if you say he is so humble, that doesn't mean he is the only humble. He is so funny, that doesn't mean he is the only funny person. He is very courageous and enduring. What many girls fall in, they love the character and assume that this character only characterizes that person. And that's what Solomon said, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. So there is a big difference or a big misunderstanding about what character is. But character is not the physical appearance. I mean, you see somebody beautiful, that's not a character. You see somebody handsome, that's not a character. It's not his accomplishments. It's not his style of dressing. It's not the spiritual appearance or taste or career or degrees or status or fame. But what character is, and that's very important to my older group. Character, can he face pain? Can he serve others and deny himself? Can he has integrity, sincerity, honesty? I want my girls to love these characters. I want my men to look for these characters. But if you look at how tall, how beautiful, how muscular, how much money, how much career, how much fame, what type of car, these are not characters. Character is being realistic, not necessarily perfectionistic. He knows the reality of his life, and he knows that he's not perfect. Character is respecting his limits. He is ambitious, but he knows also he doesn't want to climb beyond his ability. Character means allowing openness and freedom with the other person. This what makes the relationship work the longest. Truth number 2. So truth number 1, the first one you meet is not always will be the person. And character is not always what you see outside, but what you don't see and is inside. Truth number 2. Movies and romance and love do not happen in reality. If you are a Pocahontas kind of lover and you see how she loves and she's strong and courageous, or I know what else you like, please remember, in the movies, sex and romance happen at the perfect time. However, the best sex when it is blessed within marriage. Majority of couple interaction is romantic. However, we know that couples need to spend time discussing issues and family planning and money and so on. Characters are always the same age each time you watch a movie. Always. It's like they found themselves most compatible. Real life people age and change and lose their hair and bring a tummy and become fatter. So that doesn't happen in the movie sometimes. Lots of magic and love potions and love at the first sight. Unfortunately, that's not in real life, except conversations, struggles, communications, prayers, and ups and downs. Truth number 3. Get physical and you will get hurt. So, sex and everything in between. God created sex and commanded it and gave us the desire for it. God designed our sexual organs for pleasure and reproduction. God designed sex for marriage, these days, however, most sexual desires are not from God. So sexuality is not the most important thing in life. Acting out your lust prevents love, integration, and healing. So unfortunately, people who say yes on everything will never discover these things. By you saying no to physical relationships before marriage, you will discover if he or she wants you for you or want you for sex. Is he or she capable of respecting and relating and communicating, or none of these are important? Is the person carrying around a lot of baggage inside that they have never been healed, and that's why they are acting physical? Can this person delay gratifications, which is self-control? Does the person have ability to submit to the will of God? All of that you will learn by saying no. But when you say yes, unfortunately, you shortcut, and all of a sudden you wake up and you find you missed many, many steps. So accept that you will have good and bad sexual desires. Don't wait until something happens to set boundaries. Set your boundaries before you begin a relationship. Keep your eyes on the goal, and the goal is your purity, chastity, kingdom of God. Truth number 4. Adapt now and pay later. The marriage therapist hears these complaints from conflicted couples. She must have her way. I'm afraid to let my real feelings and desires be known. We have so much conflict over very little things. She doesn't care about me and what I want. Why can't he ever go to the places that I want to go to? How this started? Started by trying to get someone to like you by not disagreeing with them. Disagreements during engagement is normal. And people who do not want to disagree because they are afraid that the other person may lose interest in them will end up by a marriage that a person did not find any disagreements before, and all of a sudden find disagreements and he doesn't know what to do with that person. When you say, no, I don't agree with that, no, I have a different idea, then at least you have a real marriage. Making a false impression instead of a good impression, a fake impression. So when you try to make a very good impression in your engagement, not the true impression, beware of that. You need to present yourself in the right way, not in the fake way. By not being yourself, you will end up by having a marriage that very unclear. You don't know who started what and what to begin with. Being afraid to speak up during engagement will end up by the left side where a lot of issues happen after marriage. Pursuing self-denial before self-awareness. While the Bible calls for self-denial, in engagement, we never accept self-denial. In marriage, we do. After you get married, we say, deny yourself and carry your cross and follow me. But in engagement, don't deny yourself. Don't deny what you want and what you wish for and what you agree with and what you disagree with, because you're putting yourself up for major disaster when you, it's okay, whatever you like, whatever you like, whatever you like, and you became a mat. And when you get married and you don't like it, all of a sudden he is shocked or she is shocked because none of this appeared before. So the solution is be yourself from the beginning as much as you can. Do not confront on everything, but confront on the most important things. There isn't a perfect couple. So when you have something you don't like and there are 5 things else that they are not as important, just talk about the most important. What about the other 4? Doesn't matter. They are minor ones. Don't bury the living, and always confront with honesty and love. Truth 5. Have you got your dating? Your team includes God. And as I mentioned in the questions yesterday, if you are not dating yet, that's the best time you start praying for that person that one day you are going to meet. And he is somewhere, maybe in Australia even. And one day you are going to meet here in Newcastle. Fine. If you're already in dating, you already have to fast track bringing God into the equation. He must be the coach of the team, and he has to be part of your team. You want to bring your priest on early. Don't fall on your face and what you call it love, and then you can't get out of it, and you never even ask some confidant what he thinks. Maybe he will find you, my darling, you are not ready yet. You just came out of a relationship and you are very vulnerable. It's very easy for you to fall in anyone. I don't think it's right for you to start any relationship. So don't wait 6 months and then go to Father. So you must have your trusted friends. And when I say trusted friends, people who have no interest in the other party, but has full interest in you. You are her brother, and you will talk to this person because she is important to you as a sister or as a brother. Your family. Bring your family on early. Your mentor, somebody who's accountable to. This team provides wisdom and discernment, courage and support, prayer and encouragement, honest and brutal feedback, and sometimes you may not like it, but you have to listen to it. When a father tells you, I am not happy with the way you guys are going physical about it, you already cannot see anything in the relationship because you are blindfolded. You love him so much that you can't see his defects. Suggestions, strategy, and alternative voices to the one in your head. Finally, the dating mechanics. Number 1, I know if there is a word called woman up, but man up, grow up, woman up. Please remember the roles of a woman and a man, and don't confuse them. The Bible is very clear about them. The woman need to be desired, pursued, respond, and the man need to lead, assert, and make a risk-taking. We love him because he first loved us. Men think women are looking for money, title, degrees, etc. But these are symbolic expression of power. Women are looking for a man who desires them and can do something about the desires, like protect and provide and care. That's what women are looking for. Someone to defend them, to protect them, to provide for them. While in some cultures, or most cultures, at least the Middle Eastern ones, the women are discouraged of initiating. But on some occasions, on average, we say men should start. But I can tell you, there are some occasions I pushed my daughters to initiate when the man is afraid to be rejected, because he was rejected a couple of times before, and there is a nice thing can happen between them. And you can, ladies know how to make the way easier. And I don't mean, of course, losing any boundaries. On average, each must embrace and fulfill the role. Rejection for men must be known as, unfortunately, a common thing. My sons in the room and the hall need to know that to get rejected a couple of times, do not be discouraged, and do not label all women are arrogant and do not lose confidence in yourself. It's not unknown for a man to be rejected several times. So keep going. But if you find yourself only getting rejection, then you will need to learn tip number 2. What if you keep being rejected over and over again? So we call it look in the mirror. Look in the mirror means ask someone who is close to you, do you like the way I'm dressed? Because maybe you think you are James Bond, but the girls don't like the way you look. Maybe your hair, in your opinion, is the best hair, but some of your sisters will tell you, if you ask them, we wish that you changed the hairdo differently. Maybe somebody will tell you, you better lose a couple of pounds. I'm talking about men. You will look more handsome this way. Maybe your sisters will tell you, if you stop laughing in such a way, people may like you a little more. The way you laugh is a little vulgar, for example. In other words, look in the mirror and do not be too stubborn to think, I am right, all these girls are bad. They don't know whom they're missing. So, is your style attractive, modern, appropriate to the occasion? Have you let yourself go, meaning in the way you dress or the way your physique? Am I comfortable or I'm hiding something? Remember, you need to be handsome, beautiful, clean, well-shaven, attractive, fashionable, and modest, of course. I know I'm talking about practical things, but I have met many who are so stubborn and when they keep getting rejected, they tell me, all these men don't know whom they are missing. I'm the most beautiful girl. She may be the most beautiful girl, but the way she acts about it, the way she conducts herself, the way she presents herself, needs someone to tell her, change 1, 2, 3. The man, why don't you change the way you wear your clothes? Men likes the more handsome person. You don't have to be fashionably expensive, no, but just decent. And then maybe things will change. Tip number 3, don't play games. And I say that, please, for both genders. Quit playing games, meaning fake dating. A boy will go out with a girl, and he has no interest in pursuing this beyond a couple of going out. And it's so hurtful. When these daughters come and talk to us, we feel so bad that some of our guys are just having fun. We call it fake dating. Also, I ask the girls, with all respect to my daughters, please do not play hard to get. You like the guy, and the guy is decent, and you went to Abuna and he told you he's a good guy. Why are you playing hard to get? Why? For what purpose? I'm not saying don't be too easy, but I'm not asking you also don't be hard to find. Every time he comes close, every time he smiles, every time, and men, because of prior rejections, they are soft-hearted. And all of a sudden they say, she doesn't want me, fine. And you want him, and you like him, and you want him to pursue you, but you're playing so hard to get. Why are you doing this? Yes, you are right. You don't know his intentions, but you will not know his intentions. Well, I don't know why are you like clapping hands? You definitely didn't know what she said. Men should not have clapped hands for this, but that's fine. You are absolutely right. Because I said in the beginning, some boys play fake dating. Unfortunately, girls are putting a fortress around themselves, and they are afraid to smile and pave the way for them because they know they don't want their heart broken. So they said, you know what? I don't know. So I agree with you, but we are now in a standoffish situation. We have a standoffish situation. Every church I go to tell me, oh, we grew up together. We are brothers and sisters since we're 6 years old. I mean, look, what do you... I mean, all what I'm trying to say is, guys, be honest, sincere, and you are right. Some boys, they are just having fun. But believe me, the majority are not like that. And girls are so smart to find out early on who is playing and who is sincere. But also girls, believe me, at least, maybe I don't know about England, in many states, they are playing hard to get. And unfortunately, we are all losing. The church is losing. Because we have amazing men and women that would love to have so many churches. And we are stuck. We are standoff now. People like each other, but people not coming to each other. So the next one is fake dating strategy. Appear stress-free. Do not want to appear too independent. The real strategy, live your life and don't compromise too soon. Please, no compromises. I'm not asking anyone to compromise. Don't see him more than twice a week. Don't accept a Saturday night date after Wednesday. That's your strategy. The motivation is, I want to be portrayed as a good girl with a lot of boundaries, so he knows that I'm not going to let anything happen. Believe me, respect is more important than this strategy. What if he works in these days? You have put a boundary that doesn't work. Keeping someone guessing. Very common, unfortunately. Hold on the power, hide an inner emptiness. What's your strategy here? And it was supposed to be, share your real self. Don't fake it. Don't pretend. So games are mechanisms for hiding deeper issues. Tip number 4, almost done. Never makes eye contact. Share at the wall. Never speak to a man first. Sit in a corner, observe someone, rush over, talk to someone. Try to wow someone with your knowledge. But on the other hand, there are people who will act seductively. Guys ask if you know a good place to eat lunch, or you had him, you hand him a napkin, map. Keep thinking about what to say until the event is over. At the end of the day, please be positive. Have a good posture. Never be rude. And look for nonverbal cues. And be sincere. And I say that to both sides. Position yourself to catch his or her gaze. When you do, smile. When you are in the same circle, focus on her when she's talking. Make eye contact. Be ready to laugh. Those are the good ones. So the bottom 2 paragraphs are the good tips, while the upper 2 paragraphs are the bad tips. Nothing of what I'm saying sounds very scientific, but it looks very practical. But I feel many of us sometimes need to know. The last one, change your traffic. And I'm speaking very practical, by the way. If you have tried and failed in your church, I say it humbly, and maybe my fathers will disagree, visit other churches, go to other retreats. Don't stick to the same place that you know you don't have a chance. Arrange and attend a get-together, hangouts. Go on conventions, participate in a service, go to weddings and engagement, go to family events, talk to your friends. So doing the same thing over and over again will never result in something different. So, in review, 4 principles. God does his part and you better do yours. You cannot be sitting home and say God will provide. God will provide, but you need to see. Doing the same thing will never result in something different. If you kept doing the same thing over and never worked, change your tactics, strategy. Everything that happens outside has its root inside you. Whatever is outside, please look for the character which is inside, not the outer appearance, which is very fake and can change. Please make sure you are healthy. You know yourself before you start knowing my daughter. Know what you like and what you hate before you start asking, I want to know this person. Many people date today and they are ambivalent about their own selves. They go out and I meet this girl, but I know that if I'm angry or greedy or lusting, know yourself first before you come and ask for my daughter to go out with her. And the same for girls. 5 truths. The first person you date is probably won't be your last. The movies never happen. Get physical and you will get hurt. Adapt now and pay later. Have you got your dating team, including God, Abuna, your friends, and your parents? 5 tips. Man up, grow up, stop playing games. Look in the mirror and see what you need to change and change it. Could be weight, it could be style of hair, it could be style of dress. Please don't play games. Those are God's daughters, those are God's royal sons. Stop playing games. Check your vibe and change your traffic pattern. Don't stay in one traffic and say, this is the only thing I know. Even the fathers in this team, we are concerned about you. We were thinking, how can we bring many places together in one forum? Because we love you and we know the constraints of the immigration land. I got married in my church, but there was hundreds of amazing girls. Because it's a church. Egypt is full of ladies, full of men. When you come to smaller areas, smaller churches, and again, I say again, oh, we grow up together, fine, though I don't like it, but I have to live with it. And this is where we love the idea of I don't want to call it intercontinental yet, but at least multiple countries.